Yeah, what's up, Caperfin?
Alright, let me... Oh, well, hi. I'm wearing sunglasses, so it's a bit hard to see
That's all good,
this
my
school.
dude.
Alright, let me just...
I've muted
You...
your stream so I'm not getting like an echo here on my end. So how have you been doing since phase 3, phase 2, or rather phase 2 or phase 1? I haven't seen you since phase 1, honestly. I don't think I've seen you in all of phase 2. Have you taken like a break from phase 2 and came right here to phase 3? Or were you more playing like off stream?
Yeah, I've been playing off stream. I've come to some sudden realizations regarding Shaman tanking in latter half of Phase 2. Yeah,
Yeah.
beginning of Phase 3. Uh, just a sec here.
It's all good, my friend. Glad to have you back as well. I remember we were talking about like making this like a daily podcast or something, but like that was only in phase 1 we were talking about it. But like since then, I would call this the shaman tank, or not even because you're not really a shaman tank this time around. You're priest tank. If
No, I've completely given up on shaman tanking. I
okay,
was hoping that in phase 2, the latter half, or beginning of phase 3, Blizzard would implement some sort of challenge to shaman tanking. Unfortunately, Blizzard has very much trivialized shaman tanking to the point that it's lost its former glory
you are
that it's
very
once had.
100% correct. As like a fellow shaman tank, before SoD, it was definitely a challenge. Once SoD came out and everyone and their grandmas can play it, it's like it's not so special as it used to be. I agree
Yeah,
with you.
I still receive daily messages from former Shaman tanks who have quite literally unsubbed from World of Warcraft because Shaman tanking brought absolutely nothing uh, complex or intricate or a challenge, interesting rotation, nothing at all. Nothing at all. They could not sustain their reasoning for paying for a sub in World of Warcraft. And of course, I had to say, hey, please maintain your sub, try priest tanking. It is beautiful. You'll love it. It has ingredients. It's reminiscent of classic era shaman tanking.
It really
So
is. When I've played it, like season 1, or not season 1, but phase 1 of SoD right here, like that's where I really felt this kind of has a shaman tank vibe of me trying out a shaman tank before SoD. You really gotta convince people to play with you here. You gotta have like a silver tongue. Is that what it's called, or is it a golden tongue type of deal? Like you gotta be like, hey, I'm also a streamer, and I could show you the ways of this. Is that how you felt when you were playing Priest Tank through phase
well,
1 to now?
definitely social networking is a big part of succeeding as a priest tank. It's irrelevant if you have it's completely useless if you have the best gear, best consumables, all of that, if no one invites you to dungeons.
I get
You
that.
have to make a name for yourself on your server so people feel more comfortable with inviting you.
Yes,
It,
100%.
yeah, yeah. So this can mean anything from being a YouTuber, a streamer, being very friendly with people, engaging conversations, stuff like that.
You say be very friendly with people, but I'm like this opposite kind of guy where I am like a very much drunk streamer. I'm normally not
Oh, sure,
streaming
yeah.
very sober because at this point, once you've played Shaman Tank like us like for years and years, like I don't know about you, but I've developed like an alcohol problem where it's like I need to be like kind of like feeling good to talk to these damn people because I know there's always these damn people. It's like shamans can't tank, and it's like
Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah,
I have
the
to go
pressure
through
and
that every
negativity
day.
can come to you. Yeah, it does build up over time. Yeah, you just have to remember that not everyone has the same amount of knowledge you have in terms of shaman tanking. So they're coming from a place of ignorance,
Oh yeah,
and ignorance tends to lead to hate and toxicity. And yeah.
yeah. Like I just got really like I'm an alcoholic compared to you.
Oh, sure.
You're just a coffee drinking shaman tank. It's
Oh,
like,
yeah, yeah.
but like I've got things to say to people and they got things to say to me type of deal. It's like it gets very toxic on my end and the other person's end. is trying to talk about like the validity of shaman tanks, but like I generally like everything I've learned off you, so it's like I know what to say and like get my way into groups when it's not that toxic.
Oh yeah, there are some ways to phrase your LFG posts in a way that make people feel more comfortable. For example, mentioning that you're BIS in LFG, it really helps. Saying you're BIS, maybe even saying you have BIS consumables. This pushes people to feel more comfortable with the idea of pre-stanking, for example. Yeah.
Oh hell yeah! I only got to do like I had to redo that because like I've had those skills from like shaman tanking, just classic eras. Like teach people is like shamans can tank, and now inside it's like yeah, priests can actually tank. So the furthest I got into that was BFD. I was able to tank a couple of bosses here and
Oh
there.
yeah, same here. Yeah, yeah. Same BF. Yeah, I think 2 weeks after BFD went on farm. Yeah. Yeah. I flat out quit. Flat out
Why?
quit.
Why is that? You came back in phase two.
Pardon?
Did you come back in phase two?
Yeah, I came back in phase two. I took a break, had to reassess everything. I had to look at other ways to challenge myself because shaman tanking was a letdown. And I eventually stumbled upon priest tanking.
I'm glad you got
Uh,
that because like I like tune into your streams every now and then. Like sometimes I just won't say anything, but like I just like to see
oh, sure. Yeah.
your thought process of just getting all this shit down. It's really impressive. It's just like I was doing this up to phase two, I believe, and I just had given up on my priest tank. And like basically like I was maining shaman, right? And like shaman DPS was just so damn overpowered. It was like out
Yeah, it
pulling
is.
like
Yeah.
shaman tanks itself. I was like, even with the aspect or the beta, the spirit of the
Hmm.
beta, like where you put alpha on the main tank, I was still pulling off them. So it was like, I don't. I'm not
Yeah, it got
so
to a point.
positive about priest tanking, but you
It
you're over
yeah.
here.
Yeah, it got to a point where shaman tanks no longer needed to have a threat meter displayed. They could have a damage meter displayed, and that'd be enough
Yeah,
as an indication on whether that is not a good sign. That is not good.
definitely, hundred
Should
percent.
never come to that. A whole entire aspect of tanking should not be solidified with so little effort. No, that can't. That's yeah. Um, I pick myself pretty much every day that I did not try priest tanking earlier, especially in phase one. Take it more seriously. Uh, Priest tanking in phase one had the opportunity to both be a tank and healer.
Yeah, yeah, it did. Same with
Yeah,
even more in phase two once we got
yeah,
vampiric
yeah.
embrace.
Uh-huh, uh-huh. And I just regret I didn't push that aspect further onto people. Not only could you fulfill the role of a tank, but also a healer. Like the
And
time it would
DPS,
take to
you're basically
build
a
a
three in
group
one
is,
at least.
yeah, yeah, you could just form a group insanely fast. So, yeah, I regret not getting the dungeon guide out faster and stuff like that.
Yeah, I was looking for that. I was like, did fucking Caperfin die over here in phase two? Because like,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
was definitely looking into your stuff because I was into it in phase one. I was you were there helping me get some runes and like helping me tank Wailing Caverns. Like, where do I use a cooldown here and there? But
Hmm.
we were all playing. I believe it was like disc, right? We weren't even playing Shadow. Maybe like 1 or 2 points in Shadow at that point.
Yes, I believe. Yeah, yeah. There were some variety to spell to talent setups depending on the dungeon. You could
Yeah.
have situational talent setups. Yeah. Uh, in the if I can speak on behalf of Phase Three,
Yeah,
that's all
go
right.
ahead. Actually, this is where I'm totally blind, so I'd love to hear what you have to say about phase three.
So Phase Three is the I would say the most accessible phase to priest tank, especially on the horde. Before phase three, it used to be somewhat better to be on the alliance for priest tanking. That is no longer the case. In phase three, it is de facto bis to be
There was like
horde.
I hate to cut you up, but like why you're saying horde is because the new like changed aspect of the alpha and beta. It's like now 45% threat reduced, right? For the when you put it on the tank, right? Or yeah, that's what I'm thinking of. And wait. No. One of no alpha is like on you. I don't know, but like the person that casted it, which would be the shaman, so they're not ever gonna pull off you because they got like 35 or is it 45%? I forget. It was 35 or 45% reduced threat for beta on themselves if they gave the priest tank the alpha.
It's a combination of Spirit of the Alpha as well as Tranquil Air Totem.
Oh yes,
Shamans
yes,
now,
yes. We
yeah.
get that at level 42 as shamans.
It's not considered griefing to play a Alliance Priest tank, but you have a lot going against you as an Alliance Priest tank. You
Yeah, now that
definitely should consider,
we have
yeah.
this here coming up now for not tranquil air, but like spirit of the alpha is the game changer here in season of discovery compared to like priest tanking in normal era. What you've done before, like you're this isn't your first rodeo, right? It's not season of discovery because I remember you were doing all these cheeky like different like classes like shaman tank, priest tank, and like what warlock tank, and I think hunter
Oh
tank
yeah.
or something. You were doing a lot of
Uh-huh,
things
yeah.
way before
Yeah.
SoD, so like you definitely know of all this stuff here, and I definitely believe it because that's where I learned shaman tank was from you.
Oh yeah, I dipped my toe in a lot of pools. I think that's the expression.
Okay.
So yeah, I came into Season of Discovery with just a wealth of knowledge on these topics. I was definitely not caught off guard. I knew exactly what needed to be tackled. Yeah,
For like which off tank or just all of them basically.
all of them, just all of them, all
Okay,
just in
okay.
general. Yeah,
You're
I
like
knew,
the grandfather of like off specs basically, which are all like tank specs, right? Basically, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
Or
mostly tank specs. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
The challenge lies in tanking, just because you have to satisfy both your mitigation and threat. There's a bit more
Yeah.
responsibility. Yeah.
Yeah. Because like in era shaman tank, we're all going for stamina, but then like in SoD, it's like
It's
feral druids and warlocks that want stamina and like or no we want stamina, they want armor actually, my bad, I'm mixing
in
the two.
SoD. In SoD. It's as long as you have World of Warcraft installed, you can Shaman tank pretty much.
Yeah.
That's
I
incredibly sad. Um,
wish we could cross server, man. I'd like to like duo shaman tank with you. Have you shaman tanked this phase and season of discovery for Sangha Temple?
no, I've completely given up on Shaman tanking in phase 3.
Not even just for like an alt after you've like mastered priest tanking?
I've completely. I think I'm level 47. I'm not even getting
Yeah.
to level 50. I pretty much just know about the conventional class tanks as it relates to priest tanking. So, for example, knowing what is the best off tank for raid tanking as a priest, it would be a warrior tank because of rally and cry and intervene. So I just know to that extent about conventional class tanks, and I don't want to learn more.
So at least what I know, I've done Sunken Temple about 3 or 4 times now with my guild. I think it's 3 times. I would like to say four, but I've done it 4 times with like maybe one time with an alt pug that made it to 6 out of 8. Whatever the like, the last two bosses we didn't do. We didn't do Oranicus or which goes it, the dude that you summon. You need to like get quest items from.
Yeah, skeleton,
Yeah.
scaly boys. How yeah, colloquial term. Yeah.
Shit, I'm having the streamer brain thing. What was I just telling you? Like, the before those guys. Oh shit.
You were telling about how many times you cleared Sunken Temple.
Yeah. I cleared 2 times with enhance, and then second time with like spell hands, where it was like half. It's like 21 points you can put into elemental. Like remember you had this build at level 60, right? Where it's 21 points in elemental, then 30 points in enhancement. There's like this kind of build that's going on here in phase 3 where it's 21-20, so it's like half and half, but more is into elemental, but mainly
Oh,
because lava burst, like the elemental like ability in wrath, like that lava burst, like you can put that as a rune in your hand slot, like you use that, and then that like uh has 100% chance as long as you've got like 100% chance of critting as long as you've got flame shock
mhm.
running on them, right? So
I'll have to take your word for it. I have no idea.
it's like wrath. I don't know, like I I learned how to elemental shaman tank in Wrath because of you, because like you taught it like for the pre-patch before
Oh
Wrath.
yeah. Hmm.
You're like, mm-hmm.
You could tell me anything about shaman tanking in phase 3, and I'd have to take your word for it. Such a yeah, yeah. Just to get back on the whole priest tanking in phase
Yeah,
3,
yeah,
if you don't mind. So yeah, there never has been a better time. I keep saying this every phase, but just Blizzard keeps adding stuff that makes priest tanking more feasible, and still keeps it challenging. It doesn't become feasible. It doesn't become trivial. That's what I like about Blizzard's indirect buffs to priest tanking. So just recently, Blizzard increased the damage dealt by Shadow Form.
oh
So
yeah,
this
by
increases the
10%,
damage.
right? It was
Yeah,
15
this
to
increases the
25%.
damage dealt of Mind Blast, which is how we deal single
Yeah.
target threat. It increases the damage dealt by Mind Seer, which is how we deal AoE threat. Uh, all
Aren't
it's
there a
2 weeks.
new like rune that like you put on the ground? It used to be black, but now it's purple colored, and
Oh,
like
Void
the
Zone. Yes,
yeah, yeah,
indeed.
yeah,
Yes,
that one.
Shadow Form
Is
also
that
increases
like
that.
one of the new what is it, helmet now, or I forget what is the new thing? Or is it the wrist that it's the new in phase 3? I forget.
The wrist. Yes, the wrist.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Uh, yeah, 2 weeks before that Shadow Form change, they allowed now Void Zone to be casted while Martyrdom is procced. So Martyrdom is a way we can counteract spell pushback.
Martyrdom is from
Previously,
seven talent points in disc, right? We did that in phase 1. I
y-
remember we had a
yes,
martyrdom
yeah,
build, and then the rest went into 5 points went into shadow. The like martyrdom build is the disc build, right?
yeah. There are two priest raid tank talents set up. One that is more threat that picks up martyrdom, and one that is more mitigation, which goes into holy and picks up spell warding. So you
Okay.
have the choice between two talent setups depending on what you want to improve, threat or mitigation.
Yeah.
Uh, just recently, Blizzard allowed Void Zone to be casted while Martyrdom is procced, so this means a AoE threat bump for Priest Tank.
Okay.
Yeah, previously you could not cast Void Zone, but now you can during Martyrdom. So yeah, um, what else? What else? Yeah, more spells are now part of the Priest Tank rotation, so it's more intricate. There's more to play around with. I myself am learning things practically on the daily. I 2 weeks ago, I just found out that potions can be used in dispersion while you're
Oh
dispersed.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I've learned that when I was playing my shadow priest in phase 2 about like what
Yeah.
I can use in dispersion as well.
So if you wanted to generate the most threat in such a small amount of time, you would Mind Blast and Shadow Word Death, and once those are on cooldown, if you needed to use Dispersion, you could now activate a potion while you're dispersed. So even though you were silenced and could not cast spells, you could at least generate additional threat through a potion. Which, oh, when I found that out, I was ecstatic.
Oh,
So yeah, there's still a lot to be learned, whether I learn it personally or just someone else will learn. It is the season of discovery. A lot has to be still discovered.
oh yeah, dude. So I see you're doing ZF on your Twitch stream here.
Oh
You're
yeah,
finishing
doing
off.
ZF,
What
putting
are you farming
conventional.
out something there, or just wildlife
No,
rolls?
No, I'm just putting a conventional class tank to shame by pulling more mobs, clearing the dungeon faster, more
Okay.
eloquently. I'm known on this realm particularly for clearing dungeons very fast and selling my tanking services as a priest.
Oh my god, you're like the original gangster then. Like right over there. Priest tank. What server are you on? You're on Europe?
I'm on Europe, yeah,
What server?
living.
Living Flame, okay.
Yeah. Just give me a sec here.
Do you got any on North America?
No, I'm trying to free up my schedule a bit more to validate a US account, paying a US account. I have to do things in IRL. It is there is quite optimal to have two accounts, one in EU and one in USA, in terms of increasing your brand recognition, your brand name.
If you're ever gonna
Uh,
level, oh, I'm cutting you off, but like, if you're
oh,
ever gonna level up on North America, I'll hella boost you, dude. If you go on Wild Growth, that's the PVE server of this.
oh yeah, well,
Like,
growth.
yeah, Wild Growth like is the highest PVE normal realm like that
Oh,
isn't
then I'm in there.
PvP.
It's important that I'm on the highest pop realm. I need as many guilds to choose from as possible,
Yeah.
because not everyone is open to the idea of priest rate tanking. So I'd like to have my options open, right?
Okay. But in terms of Cataclysm, WoW coming out, are you gonna do some shaman tanking there now that we've finally got a taunt through the
Yes,
weapon
I will be
release?
going shaman tanking and cataclysm in full force. Despite having a taunt and rockbiter dealing threat and mitigation, shaman tanking is still fundamentally a challenge. It is demands you to use your brain,
I
which I
remember
like.
first hearing from you that it was like that's the apex of shaman tank history. Before, like, let's not think Season of Discovery is a thing, but like of all the other versions of WoW, like this was the apex is what you were saying was
Yes.
Cataclysm Shaman Tank.
Yeah, Cataclysm is the apex. A lot of things are given to you to make shaman tanking more accessible, notably the taunt you mentioned, the fact that you can't really mess up shaman tank dungeoning. You pretty much just need to make sure you have Rockbiter active
Yeah.
and halfly decent tank related talents.
There's
You
like
pretty, yeah.
a swapping of shield and offhand. I remember from doing this on like a private server. I think I was on Apollo where you have to be like offhand to lava lash spread the fire shocks to people and like SoDs. So it's like that was the thing I remember I had to do.
Oh yeah, it's not really necessary for dungeon. You don't have to go to the extent of going dual wield for spreading your flame shock. That's just for cool trick moves if you want to do like three pull the whole dungeon type
Yeah,
dealio.
but can't like or isn't Fire Nova going after every enemy target you have with Flame Shock gets Fire Nova when you press Fire Nova?
That
So like that's like where
that
the
is
big
correct. Yes.
huge AOE is like
Fire
happening
Fire Nova now emits from your flame shock. Uh,
instead of the
yeah,
totem.
that's yeah. Instead of a tome, it's a pseudo nerf. I don't really like it. I think I will need to have an add-on that tracks which target has flame shock in the massive amount of mobs that I pulled.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, because I'm not gonna tab target each mob to figure out find which one has flame shock. So I'll try to find an add-on that shows a marker on screen of which mob has flame shock, so I can fire Nova. But besides that, yeah, Shaman tank dungeon kata very easy. But of course, demands more attention than your conventional class tanks by far.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, for sure. I mean, even
What
for
else?
like
Oh,
AOE, like you got like like depending on what you're playing, like you get a lot of AOE coming out of Shaman Tank here in like SoD, just like through having like the burn rune be the new thing. Like if you ever did you hear the new Shaman like nerf thing where mental dexterity doesn't like work for Ellie Shams or Spellhand Shams now?
oh, I have no idea. I'll take your word for it.
Like it was a similar build, like you said. At level 60, you need enough spell crit to go for it, where it's like 31 for elemental fury, and then like you
Oh
go
yeah.
the rest into enhance. Like that's what I learned off of you, my guy. Like I'm all my guides I make were like info I got off you, so it's like it's go. I don't know if you're saying I'm wrong. Then you would be saying you are also wrong.
Oh, you could tell me anything about Shaman Tank SoD, and I'd have to believe you. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I believe you 100% for priest tank because I learned priest tank from you and I learned shaman tank from you before SoD. So it is how it is. Like I got to level 60 as a shaman tank in hardcore WoW, and I was like raiding in hardcore WoW as a shaman tank. Well, the furthest was like UBRS 10 man.
Mm.
But the guild I was in was like, no, we don't want you tanking anything in MC. I'm like, you know what? Fair enough. I don't want to die either. I don't trust anyone here this healing.
Speaking of dying and the whole hardcore aspect, this is one of the reasons I am priest tanking in Season of Discovery is to impose a challenge, whether it be personal challenge in terms of the priest tank or a collective challenge involving the guild coming together and overcoming an obstacle. Uh,
Okay.
in Season of Discovery content is very trivial. I'm sure you're aware of that.
Yeah.
So this is why I'm so much into priest tanking in the hopes of making the game challenging, as it once was in the olden days when we actually had to discuss boss strats in voice chat before pulling.
Would
I
you
want to.
ever do priest tank in hardcore? If you
Uh,
had people like me like being with you to like help you make that happen?
I would definitely consider it because a hardcore player tends to know quite a bit about their own toolkit as well as the toolkit of other people. So the idea of priest tanking is a bit more in people's mind. It won't be a shock to as many people that they hear of a priest tank in hardcore because they've had to learn more about threat and aggro in order to survive. So there's
Yeah.
a higher chance someone knows, whereas at least more uh, recipient, more accepting of priest tanking.
Would
Yeah.
that be more for alliance on hardcore for priest tank?
Let's see. Yeah, it would be Alliance because of Blessing of Salvation. Uh,
Okay. What would be your most like co-op if you were to play hardcore? What would I choose to like help you priest tank in hardcore? Not solo self found. That shit is like AIDS.
you're asking what is the best supporting role for
Yeah, yeah. I would like to see a hardcore priest tank, and I would be
ooh.
like, I would like to play like a supporting role there.
Oh, let's see. I don't know if you would enjoy it, but it would be a Holy Paladin.
Holy paladin.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I would mind. But, like,
Uh,
could that do like DPS outside of like just
oh yeah.
healing?
Uh, Holy Paladins are left with moments where they can weave in auto attacks. Good Holy
Okay.
Paladins will equip a two-handed weapon to contribute to raid DPS.
Okay.
So there is some flavor to Holy Paladin. You can spice things up. It's not just casting one button. Uh, yeah, it can actually get quite intriguing. The Holy Paladin slash hybrid DPS playstyle.
Okay.
And yeah, the reason why Holy Paladin for a supportive class healing a priest tank is because uh, Holy Paladins deal with chunk of healing, large amounts of healing, and that is very good with the fact that priests have low armor. They have high HP, but low armor.
Okay.
Yeah. It's also because Holy Paladins quite literally have a talent that increases the armor of wherever they put lay on hands on. So there's a lot. There's a lot. Is what I'm trying to say. Devotional aura increases armor. I'm sure you get the idea.
Yeah, yeah. I'm like looking at your stream. I'm like, this guy's been streaming for 11 hours and 36 minutes. Are you
Ah,
like
yeah,
tired? What the hell?
yeah, yeah. I will be calling it in about 20 minutes here. I'm just
Okay.
doing some auction house sellings. Yeah.
I see why you're like, yeah, sure, I'll do a final, like, what did I call this? An interview. You'll do one here right before you go to sleep.
Oh, it's no problem. I love talking off meta stuff.
What was that you just drank? Was that like some alcohol?
Oh no, it's just a fancy hipster water bottle
I thought you
or
were getting
water
drunk.
jug. No, I haven't drank alcohol in a long time.
You
I'm a
don't do
coffee
any.
addict.
You don't do any drunk streams.
No, no, coffee.
Oh, okay. I mean, you. I respect that. I'm like an alcoholic streamer, as I've said. It's like there's rare times where I'm doing a sober stream.
Hmm. Oh, I do get quite jittery on coffee.
Okay.
More as much as you can imagine me being more irritable. It does sometimes happen when I have just too many coffees in a short period of time.
Okay. I'm assuming you're turning in sometime. Looking at your stream, I'm over here like also streaming, but I've been live for like 31 minutes. Or I'm not even streaming. I'm just recording actually for this interview. I'm gonna upload this. The Caperfin interview #2. Shaman tanks collide. I think I said that last time, or I asked last time. I was like, "Is that what we call the podcast?" 'Cause that's originally what we're both known for, is shaman tanking.
Yeah. Um, so although shaman tanks are leaving in droves in Season of Discovery, like I said just before, I'm getting Discord messages practically daily of people quitting shaman tanking. Uh, a lot of them don't know that I'm no longer playing a shaman tank as well. So every message is, "Oh, I'm so sorry, Caperfin, but I have to leave shaman tanking in SoD. I know that's your thing in SoD." They don't know, but you know, and I always have to catch them as they're leaving. Please stay. I am priest tanking, or at the very least, shaman tanking and Cataclysm. You literally have to wait
Yeah,
3 more weeks, a month ish
something like
for a
that.
Cataclysm. You'll enjoy it. By all means, if you have any questions, drop by the stream. Happy to answer them. I'll have a guide. Let me help you. Let me take your hand. Like, yeah. I try to save them. The
Yeah,
last thing
yeah.
I want is them to have a bad impression of shaman tanking and that stick forever. That would suck.
Yeah, Shaman Tank is like about to come up to an apex in Cataclysm.
Oh yeah,
It's
yeah.
just like for little baby shitty poo poo diaper Shaman
Oh yeah,
Tanks
yeah.
for
Ti
SoD.
Timothy's first MMO
Yeah.
experience. Yeah,
It's like mommy, fetch the schnitzel.
yeah. So yeah, I'm hoping. Oh, obviously, it will be much easier to incentivize people to try shaman tanking in Cataclysm because
Yeah.
quite literally they look at the spell book and they see the word threat. I mean, they saw it even in Classic Era with Earthshock, but now you really have to ignore the spell book in order not to know about the existence of a shaman tank, at least for dungeons. I mean,
Yeah,
quite literally, Rockbiter
I have
has
to
the
keep on
word.
telling these people is like, God damn it, we're getting it in classic Cataclysm.
Exactly.
What the hell?
Yeah, we get an ability that literally has the word threat and mitigation in the same tooltip. I, I'm gonna hit people over the head with this tooltip. Like, it's you have to be bad faith in order not to acknowledge that there could be a possibility of a shaman tank in dungeons, at the very least.
Yeah, for sure.
And of course, there's secondary stuff like shamanistic rage reducing damage, the fact that your spirit wolves can AoE taunt and stuff like that. You can taunt, and just, yeah.
Can't the spirit wolves have like a taunt themselves, where you like use like a pet like taunt bar or macro to like get the wolves to taunt for you? I forget if that's even
Yeah,
a thing in Wrath actually.
uh-huh, yeah, there's a... Speaking of spirit wolves in Wrath, there's a weird glitch where you can dual spec swap and one of your wolves will stay, despite you not having the spirit wolf talent anymore. Oh,
Oh,
Blizzard still
yeah.
hasn't fixed that. Yeah.
Not bad, not bad.
Yeah, there's a lot of little intricate tricks in Wrath of Lich King that can be still used in Cataclysm. Yep.
Well, that's really good.
And what else? Yeah, in terms of the apex of shaman tanking, uh, that I keep repeating, one of the reasons for that is also the various talent setups for shaman tanking. You have a talent setup for mitigation, a talent setup for threat, a talent setup for single target threat, AoE threat. So much to choose from.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So yeah, the barrier of entry is lowered, but you still require a brain. Yeah, that,
Oh yeah, for
the best way
sure.
I can put it. Uh, uh-huh.
Can priest tank in Cataclysm, or is this just like a SoD
No,
thing?
un- unfortunately, Mind Blast doesn't deal threat in
Oh,
Kata. That's the nail in the coffin. I- If
okay.
it, if Mind Blast did deal threat, it would it there's at least a glimmer of hope. But no, that's not the case. Mind Blast doesn't deal threats, so no glimmer, nothing. The next best option would be a Warlock tank. Warlocks still deal threat through their Searing Pain. So the next best candidate after a Shaman tank would be a Warlock tank.
Hmm, that's cool.
Uh, so yeah, if you don't if whoever doesn't fancy Shaman tank could maybe show an interest in Warlock tanks. Warlock tanks have a lot of self healing. They have a lot of burst damage. Uh, yeah, just demon form increases your armor by incredibly high amount. Uh,
Okay.
Warlock tanks also have various talent setups to choose from, very similar to Shaman tank. They have a self healing, a more mitigation esque talent setup. They have a threat talent setup, single target, AoE, yada yada, very similar. Yeah,
Okay. So I guess then no priest tank, but definitely shaman tank kata.
Shaman tank, yeah. A
Can
Warlock
you
tank,
duo shaman
someone.
tank a raid and like taunt off each other?
Yep, yes, you can. Yep.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
the hardest part of shaman raid tanking is finding competent people who can meet the bare minimum standard of something like making sure people are buff, making sure, for example, if there's a restoration druid in the raid, make sure uh, the resto druid puts hots on the shaman tank before he pulls. Like very, very basic stuff. Um, Unfortunately, there's a epidemic of people being very lazy in Wrath of Lich King, as well as in Season of Discovery. So you have to either whip people up in shape in your guild, or find a guild that has high standards, competent
Okay.
people, basically. And by competent, I'm being very, like just make sure stuff people are buffed. It's so, yeah.
Yeah.
You're not asking for the world here. You're asking for the bare minimum, and yet a lot of people can't even do that.
Well, I think I've like interviewed the hell out of you as much as I could. I don't know any more questions I could ask in terms of shaman tanking or priest tanking.
Um, Well, in terms of
You want to like actually like drop your stuff here so when I upload this, people know where to find you.
yeah, sure. Most people can follow my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Caperfin for Priest Tank dungeon content, and quite soon Priest Tank raid content. I am in the process of refining my gear, refining my enchants for raid tanking. I know a lot of people are looking forward to that, so yeah. I do not stream Shaman Tank content in Season of Discovery, but I will be streaming Shaman Tanking in Kata. And I also have a YouTube channel where I will be uploading Priest Tank videos as well as Shaman Tank videos. So, yeah.
Alrighty, that sounds badass as hell. I think.
Yeah, and
Oh
yeah.
yeah. No, no, no. I'm cutting you off. Say what you want to
Yeah,
say now, buddy.
I incentivize people to talk a lot in my Twitch channel. It's very much a let's get together and figure out how we can improve things in regards to priest tanking in SoD or shaman tanking in Cataclysm. I'm all about getting people together, collectively discussing things, critically thinking. That's a big part of my streams.
I'm glad to hear it. Anything else? I don't want to cut you off again. Anything
Um,
else? I think we've already
let's see.
like given your anything else. Honestly, I'm gonna
Yeah,
be
there's also a priest tank Discord
oh
where a lot of priest tanks currently discuss strategies, socialize, and whatnot. Even if you're just priest but not tanking, feel free to drop by the priest tank Discord if you want to slowly start adopting the priest tank lifestyle. Or you don't even have to be necessarily a priest. Maybe you can contribute in some way towards the whole tanking theme, and you can also, yeah, any class doesn't have to be priest. uh, yeah, there's also a shaman tanking Discord where we are preparing for Cataclysm. We're discussing all types of stuff from dungeons to raids. People can feel free to drop by there too. And yeah, I believe that's about it.
that's the wardens, right?
Uh, yeah, there's the Wardens. There's also my own personal Discord.
Okay. Alrighty.
And yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm going to press the stop recording button here. We did a good 42 minutes, and much love to Caperfin over here, my co-host. Rather, he was like really doing more of the talking than me. The damn host here of this episode here. Uh, in terms of covering like priest tanks and like shaman tank and cataclysm. And yeah, if you guys like this, be sure to give Caperfin that sub or like follow on his Twitch, and drop me one as well. That'd be nice. All right, we'll be out. This was the shaman tank clashes with shaman. Ah shit, I forget what we called it. I was sure we called it shaman tank collides or something like that. Yeah. All right. There. We're done. We're done.